What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be working on a poster for essentially one of my designs for my website. So I figured I'd take you guys along with me, and I wanted it to have a cool kind of Egyptian alien vibe to it. So let's go ahead and work on this together. So the app that I'm going to be using in the beginning is called Luminar Neo. What I did with the image is I upscaled it, and I basically made a contrast that was so strong with the characteristics of the image that kind of is going to help remove this background. I'll explain kind of what I'm doing. The images that I'm going to be using are from Fantasy Labs. I'm sure if you guys have been watching the YouTube videos, you probably already know about Fantasy Labs, but it's basically where I'm adding some graphics on there for you guys to use. And one of the graphic sets inside the membership is or has a pyramid style image, and it also has this kind of eye image that I'm going to place onto all this, just like a bunch of letters here, and I'll hit save. And by the way, the sizing of this poster or this image itself, I upscaled it to 4480 by 5760, so 5700. That's a big size right there. It's chunky. So I'm going to go over there, I'm going to drop it off in Canva. So let's go ahead and go over here and drag and drop. Alright, so I have now the image within Canva. And I'm going to test Canva's ability to remove the background. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way I want it to, and sometimes they do a great job. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. But first, let's go ahead and place the image correctly where I want it to be within Canva. So I think this is good, this is suitable. I'll go ahead and hit background remover and see what happens. And once again, if it doesn't work out the way I want to, I'm gonna have to take the image within Luminar and then place it within GIMP, and that's gonna help me remove my background. I'll have to do it manually. But you know, actually I think they did a pretty decent job here, and this is about what I'm looking for. So I'll go ahead and hit apply. Now once again, I wouldn't be able to do this part here if I wasn't able to bring up the contrast of the image within the section. So the way I like to do this is I like to click on the image, I like to go to develop right here, and then I like to bring the smart contrast all the way up. Alright, so you can see here it made a small difference, but I don't need to, you know, essentially every single time I exit the app, it will reset, and it will always keep improving the smart contrast. I don't need to. You can see there's not much of a difference from here to here. It's just a small difference there, so that's not really important to me. So I already got most of the, I guess you could say, the job done there. I'm going to take this here and I'm going to make this a black background. So I could see kind of the power of the image now and where the details of the image is. Now what I'm going to do is take this eye design and I'm going to place it within the image, but I also have to remove the background. So what am I going to use? I'm going to use Luminar to do that as well. So let me go ahead and scroll up because I think I already have this image prepared. I know it's here somewhere. And this eye image that you guys just saw, it is within Fantasy Labs. So within Fantasy Labs, you can access it. All right. And so you can see here it's already dark. And the last time I checked, I did put up the smart contrast all the way up. But let's just try it one more time. Let's see if it does anything different. Yeah, it did a little bit of more improvements. I'll take it. And I'll go over here and hit disk. And then what I'll do is I'll save it. And the size here is 2200 by 2800 roughly. So that's cool. I'll take that. I'll hit save. And there we go. It'll export for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Canva here. And I'm going to upload the same image so that I am uploading it. And then I'm going to move this the way I want it to move. And I'm going to take the eye and place it on top. Now, what I want to do is I want to create this cool kind of translucent effect with the eye. So I'm going to go over here, hit background BG remover, which is background remover for the eye on Canva. It says we couldn't do it. So now I'm going to have to open it up within GIMP. So let's go ahead and do this. So let's go here to GIMP, open it up, and I'll just have to do it manually through GIMP. And my goal is just to remove this background you could see on the size. Now, if I can't do it for whatever reason on GIMP, I'll increase the size of this image, and I'll bring this opacity all the way through, like something like this. And this is what I'm trying to go for, if that makes sense. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. You know, it's it's going to be a tricky situation, but let's see. So I'll go over here and click on the black background. This is within GIMP, by the way. GIMP is a free tool, and you could go over here. I'll go to Layer, Transparency, Add Alpha Channel, and hit this eraser, increase the size slightly, and start erasing what I want to erase. So I'll go all the way around here and erase all the characteristics that I kind of don't need, which is a lot of that darkness right now, because this was going to add a lot of darkness to the image that I don't necessarily need right away. Even though the background is black, I want to still have different characteristics around the image. So let me go ahead and increase the brush size a little more. Something that I noticed for certain images where the brush size is a little bit bigger, it could slow down like the actual computer, which is pretty insane, but hey, it's all good. Just depends on how big the brush size is. And so I'll take this. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm going to remove everything except for the area around the eye. So we're gonna remove it like this, and it's good to just kind of click a little bit and then ease your finger off the clicker, so that if you need to undo it, will undo a little bit of it. It won't undo the whole thing, but let's see here. There we go. We're getting close for it to be finished. All right. There we go. I think that's good for what I'm looking. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. The way that I set these posters up is very forgiving, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll go over here and select none, and now I'll see what's left to the image. And since I already have this section here where the image is already displayed, I see this section within the image that I don't want to actually show. It's these lines or curves or whatever you want to call them, these details under the eye, which is equivalent to this section here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go here and erase like that right there. And that's actually pretty decent. And then what I'm going to go over here and do is I'm going to hit export as, and then I'm going to change this to a PNG, so PNG, and we're going to go ahead and export this to my desktop. Let's go ahead and hit export, and we'll export the work. So give it about a second, and then there we go. All right, so now I have the new image, which should be right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and upload this. Now I'm gonna get rid of the old image and upload this new one. So now you could see the details are completely different, right? So you could see here, right, this was the image before. Now these are the details of the image now. So let me go ahead and remove this real quick and click, and there you go. That is exactly the concept that I was looking for. And now I'm going to start playing around with the transparency of the image. So the more transparent I make it, you can see more of the peak of that pyramid in the back. And I have to figure out where I'm going to place it exactly and how much do I want to show. So if I place it right here, that's cool, then I might have to go back to the drawing board and erase a little bit more. It just depends on how I want to set it up. So let me go ahead and test the different levels of transparency here. And I think that's good, but I feel like where it wasn't, if I keep the transparency up all the way, then I might have to decrease the height or, bring it down a little bit, right? So something like, kind of like this, right? If I keep the transparency alive, because the drawing or the details around the eye are going to fit perfectly with the mountains in the back and the details around there. And real quick, I was just updating my Luminar app. I'll go ahead and just close this off because I don't need too many apps to be running. So let me go ahead and close this GIMP application for a second and empty my trash real quick. I know I'm doing this live, but sometimes, just get this done, get this out of here. And yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and erase some of these details to the image. But let me actually see if I could do this manually. So if I go like this, let's just assume that I wanted the image right here. Let's go ahead and hit edit image. There should be like some sort of eraser on this on Canva. I think they have one, but I'm not 100% sure. But let's go ahead and see what we could do. Let me close this. and let's see what it can do. Once again, well, all I'm looking for is the ability to erase some of that work around the eye. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to have the ability to erase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all this here. Just like this. And gradually we'll test and we'll see what we have to add or remove. I'll hit done here. And that's okay. I think I still need to remove a little bit more. I'll probably remove this section here, right here, like these lines right here. And then what I'll do is above, I'll remove this whole section to show the peak of that eye. So I'll hit erase, and I will remove once again this section here. And then the peak here. Right, and then let's hit done and let's see what we get. And you can see here now the design is coming a little bit more alive, right? And I'll have to remove some of these lines here on the side. So something like this. Right, just a little bit. Let's see where we get from there. Okay, that's getting better. And I think I want to do just a little bit here and a little bit here. So let's go ahead and do that. And I believe that's somewhere here. So let's erase there. And let's erase there. And once again, guys, with this strategy, I guess you could say, of creating posters, it's very forgiving with the way that I'm doing things. It's not, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it comes out and it does a great job. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to reflect a little bit more of that background of the mountaintop, right? I'm going to hit apply there. And there we go. I think that's where I want it to be. And what I'm going to do now is, because I'm not 100% sure about the location of where I want it, which I think this is good, to be 100% honest. I'm going to leave this where it is. I'm going to take these two and I'm going to group them together. So I'm going to go over here and hit group. All right. So now they're grouped together. Whenever I move one, they'll both move together. And now what I want to do is just add some text. And I want to add the text, "We have many secrets." That's what I want to add, which is pretty cool. I feel like it gives this kind of like spooky style kind of vibe. So I'm going to go here and hit text, and I'm going to add this. And by the way, the fonts, everything that you guys are seeing, the images, we're going to be adding fonts to Fantasy Labs really, really soon. In the next drop, we already created the first drop, 460 plus assets. Okay, we're going to be adding more soon. And we're going to be adding stuff every single month, like I said. So this font that I'm using right now, we're going to be dropping as well. We're going to be customizing it a little bit, but we're going to be dropping it. So we have, or I'll do one word at a time. So I'll add this here and look for something that I could use. So some kind of text that I could use. And I have so many different fonts here, but I'm going to have to play around with what I can use. We have the word "we" here, and I'm going to take this word "we" and see what colors I want to use. So I'm either going to be using the purple or the yellow, all right? And I'm going to put this into, I like to do this effect. So I have a border, right? And then I'll just duplicate this. And I'm probably going to put this video within the Fantasy Labs membership because anybody who doesn't see it on this YouTube channel, I think they really do need to see it behind the scenes in the membership so that they can get an idea as to how much it could potentially help with their design. Because I think it really could, especially if you get a grip on how to design properly, use the graphics properly, you get more out of the membership. So here and then let's go ahead and add more font here. Just drag this downward and copy, and then, or excuse me, let me go ahead and undo that. Copy this. Let's see. All right, and For this glow, I might not keep it purple. I might make something a little brighter, maybe even something like that, right? So that when it goes here, you can kind of tell the difference. But I'll go ahead and take this and maybe even switch it around. Maybe I might not go with that. We'll figure it out right now. But we have like this. And I should actually remove the letter E here and use a different font so it could be a little bit more clear, but we'll see. And I'm going to take this WE and kind of drag it upward and drag this. Add the letter E here, add the letter E. We have, and do the same effects. So I'll go over here to the back and go to the neon effect and make it a color of, let's say, that yellow that we had before. And then drag the word have on top, right? Just like this. It does look a little bit different, but no big deal. We have just like that. And I'll probably have to move the word have and decrease the size of it here because I don't want it to impede on the graphics for sure. So we have, and then many secrets on the bottom. So let's go ahead and add that. And then I'll take this text right here, word many, and I'll make it actually a little bit smaller because I want to add the word secrets right there. All right. So let's take this. Let's take this and increase the size. And then there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and make the same effect. So we're going to go with the neon effect on a yellow color. And then go here, neon yellow effect, or let's go to the effects, neon yellow color. And then we're just going to duplicate it, kind of like that. And then go to the effects once again, hit outline, and then have the outline on the purple. And then have the original font, the purple. And we actually should switch the outline, make it a little bit of a different kind of purple. There we go. Kind of like this. And maybe I can even increase the font on the word secrets. Let's see. Just like this. And decrease this section here. Let's see actually what I could do, because this is a big word. But let's see there. We have many secrets. This probably could be improved just slightly, but I think overall it's pretty decent. We'll go ahead and duplicate that. We'll go here to the effects, the outline. We're gonna pick this dark purple outline, and of course the font color will be the lighter purple. So just something like this. So you could see here I pretty much created a whole entire poster from 2 graphics and some font that will not only sell well, but it's pretty unique with the art style. And it didn't take too much effort, wasn't too difficult, and I just like the style of it. And if I wanted to search for some elements, I could go ahead and search for them. So I could search for like ancient Egypt. Let's see what we could get here. Like ancient. Let's search ancient Egypt here. And let's see what we can come up with. I mean, there's so many different things. Like something like this. I could take this and turn it into, once again, one of those neon colored fonts and make it transparent. Right? So something like that. And I could go over here and make it transparent. And I could, once again, I could play around with the colors. So I could make this, for example, yellow. And I could drag and drop this right into the middle of the eye. Something like that. There's so much that you could do here. But, it's just a matter of doing it. And it's a matter of what do you personally want on your design. I don't know if I could actually use this. I might not apply that design. But there's so many, right? So that is my poster. I'm actually pretty satisfied with the way it looks. Of course, I'm going to have to add my logo at the end. But let me go ahead and give you guys the full preview in the full image. All right.